Hi there, welcome back to another quick and easy watercolor painting. I'm going to use this big brush and I'm going to wet the whole piece of this 140-pound watercolor paper, and this is a 3/4 inch flat. Wet the whole thing, paper's taped down to my board, and I'm going to take this number 4 brush, I'm going to wet it, and I'm going to pick up some of this Payne's gray, and I'm going to put in a sky, very quick, very loose, just just like that, not too much more than that. Pick up a little bit more Payne's gray here, and I'm going to put a tree line off in the distance here. This page is pretty wet, so put a tree line back in here, and you can see I'm just tapping that brush on there. I'm kind of going across at maybe about the 1/3 line, and we're going to let that bleed for a second. I'm going to pick up some more Payne's gray that's a little bit more concentrated, just from my wet brush, and I'm just going to tap that across there and let that all bleed into this this water that's on here. I'm going to take this, I'm not going to pick up anymore. I'm just going to take this brush and put it on here and just make a indication of maybe where there's some land sort of coming down in this direction and then maybe back in this direction. This is your painting, so you make it into whatever it is that you want to make it into. I'm going to pick up a little bit more concentrated Payne's gray. I'm just going to put it across here, sort of in a straight line, but it doesn't have to be. Now let this sit for a few minutes until some of that water on the top there dries up, and then we'll come back and have a look at it. Now I've let about half of that water on the top there dry up, and to tell you the truth, I mean, you could just say that's enough and leave this painting the way it is, but I got something to teach you fine people, so let's put some more on here. You can remember I have this number 1 watercolor brush that I sharpened one end of, and I'm going to use that to put some foliage or some small trees or something in the foreground here in a couple of places. And I'm going to keep this mostly on the right and the left. You can scribe into this and make yourself some trees. You probably don't want to press too hard and not too many times. I sharpened this because metal tools will really make a pretty big cut into the paper, and that's not what you're looking for. So I have some more Payne's gray here. You can see where this Payne's gray, this blue has started to split out away from that black, and that's really what you're going for with Payne's gray. I'm going to put some trees in here that are going to be a little bit closer to us. Sort of like that, and maybe another one here. And you can see what I'm doing. I'm just tapping the brush onto the page. I'm not making any brush strokes. I'm just sort of tapping it, almost like pointillism maybe. And I'm going to touch it. I'm going to pick up some more Payne's gray right off the palette. No more water. And I'm going to touch some of these like that. All right, and then I'm going to take my little stick here again, and I'm going to put in some branches in here. And maybe I'm going to take my number 1 brush, wet it, actually pick up some Payne's gray with the number 1 brush, and put a tree trunk or 2 in here, like that. Pick up a little bit more Payne's gray, add a little bit more darkness to this. And then again, you can take your brush, scribe some lines in it if you wish. I think at this point, this is probably pretty close to being done. Let's let this sit and see what we get. All right, so I let that dry for a few minutes and we'll put our mat on it and see what we get. Yeah, that's not too bad at all, right? Yeah, I'm always, people sometimes comment that I really sound surprised when things turn out, but it's kind of the truth. It's not, these don't always turn out, you know, seldom I would say they turn out, you know, maybe, maybe 25 or 30% of the time they turn out. But this one's not too bad. If you're currently a subscriber, thanks a lot. If you're not currently a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'd love to know where you're from. If you leave me a question or a comment, I'd love to know where you're from. It's always kind of amazing to me where people watch me from. Anyways, I hope all of your paintings turn out. Have an awesome day, and we'll see you again next time.